And are you qualified to serve as independent executive for the estate of Heidi Young?
Yes.
And you're asking the court today to admit her will to probate and issue letters of testamentary, and that all other orders be entered by the court deemed proper?
Yes.
That's all I have, Judge.
Everybody, Mr. Will probate and authorized letter.
Thank you, Judge. Are we excused?
You are. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, cause number 34, State of Raymond, Joseph Batto. Sworn. You're muted, counselor.
Let's see. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, that's much better. Now you can
Excellent.
proceed, sir.
Are you ready for us to proceed, Your
Yes, sir,
Honor?
you may proceed, counselor.
All right. Would you state your name for the court, please?
Diana Franklin Batto.
All right. Ms. Batto, you're here concerning the state of your husband, Raymond Joseph Batto.
Yes,
Okay, and he did die January 27th, 2022 in Chambers County.
yes,
Okay, and at that time he was 83 years of age.
yes,
Okay, and he was domiciled, actually had his fixed place of residence in Chambers County. Is that correct?
yes,
And we previously filed with the court the document that's dated February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2013, which purports to be his last will and testament. As far as you know or believe, was that his last will and testament?
yes,
Do you ever cancel or revoke that document afterwards?
no,
Okay. And you believe a necessity exists to administer this estate to take care of the terms and conditions of the will?
yes,
And there were no child or children born or adopted to your husband after February 14th, 2013?
no,
And there was no change in marital history. You were married to him then and you were married to him when he passed away. Is that correct?
yes,
All right. And there's no state governmental agency of a state or charity that's named as a beneficiary in this will. Is that correct?
yes,
And now you are asking to be appointed as the independent executrix of this estate as named in the will?
yes,
And as I've explained to the law to you, you don't know of any reason why you'd be
Well,
disqualified.
they have to see me.
no.
All right. I believe I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, everybody, Mr. Will probate and authorized letters. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. May we be excused?
You may be. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, cause number 35, the state of Frankie Doyle Taylor. Good morning, Miss Dennis.
Good morning, Judge. We had a slight problem with the computer. I can bring her in with me, though.
Okay.
Give me just a second. Miss Taylor? Just come over for me. Just go over with me.
Yeah.
I apologize for that, Judge. The computer went down.
All right. I understand.
Can you see her?
Yes, ma'am. So we sworn you in, ma'am?
Yes, she's been sworn, Judge.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you. Would you please state your full name for the record?
Barbara Sue Taylor.
And you were married to Frankie Doyle Taylor, is that correct?
Yes,
And he died on about August 8th, 2020 in Dayton, Chambers County, Texas.
yes,
Okay. And was he 68 years of age?
yes,
And he resided there also.
yes,
Okay. To your knowledge, did he revoke this will that we're asking to be admitted?
yes,
He did revoke it?
yes.
He made another will and revoked
Oh.
this one?
No,
Okay. So he has not revoked
No,
this will to
no,
your knowledge?
no.
Okay. Was there a child or children born after Mr. Taylor made this will?
no,
At the time of the execution of the will, was he of sound mind and of at least
Yes.
18 years of age?
yes,
Did he have a marriage dissolve after the will was made?
no,
Has 4 years elapsed since he passed away and the filing of this application?
no,
Was the state of Texas a devisee or a charity under this will?
no,
Okay. At the time of his death, he had about $50,000 worth of property,
yes,
and that property was in Chambers County.
yes.
Okay. And he appointed you as an independent executor. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Yes,
And are you disqualified for any reason for serving as the executor for this will?
no.
I have no further questions, Judge.
Everybody, Mr. Will probate and authorized letters. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. May we be
Have a Good
excused?
day. You may
Thank you, sir.
be. All right, cause number 37, the state of Alan Lee Robinson. Ms. Lumpkin, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You may
I believe
proceed.
my client, Ms. Robinson, is here as well.
Is that Ms. Robinson? You are muted, ma'am.
Debbie, do you see the button to the, or at least on my screen, it's the bottom left, the little microphone? Hmm. Your Honor,
You want to, yeah, Catherine, you want to mute yourself and call her?
yes, I will.
We'll
Perfect,
come
Your
back
Honor.
to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, cause number 38, state of Myrtle Marie Poland. Good morning, Mr. McCall. What? Yeah, there's Trent.
Catherine, can you hear me?
Okay, you're unmuted now, and we'll come right back to you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Mr. McCall, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Your name is David G. O'Quinn, is that correct?
Yes,
And your mother was Myrtle Marie Poland?
yes,
She passed away on May 4th of 2018,
yes,
and 4 years hadn't elapsed since the day you filed her will for probate, is that correct?
that's correct.
She had her fixed place of residence in Chambers County on the day of her death,
Yes,
and she left a valid written will dated December 3rd of 2009,
yes.
and she never revoked that will so far.
No, she did not.
And the will was self-proven, it was witnessed and notarized.
Yes,
And she didn't leave anything to any governmental entity or the state or anything like
no,
that.
she did not.
And she didn't have any children born to or adopted to her after the day of the will.
No, she did not.
And she didn't get divorced after the day of the will.
No, she did not.
And the will named you to be the independent executor,
Yes,
and you're not disqualified anyway from serving.
no, I'm not.
And you're asking that the judge approve your application and appoint you as the independent executor.
Yes,
That's all I have, Judge.
So done. Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir. You guys have a good day.
Thank you,
thank
Judge.
you.
All right, call 37, state of Alabama.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
All right, now you may proceed.
okay. Debbie?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please state your full name for the court?
Deborah Robinson.
Okay, and you were married to Alan Lee Robinson, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Robinson died on January 8th, 2022 in Adams County, Colorado at the age of 79? Correct, okay. And 4 years have not elapsed since the time of his death, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Robinson, you guys actually resided in Colorado at the time of his passing, is that correct?
Yes.
However, the decedent owned and maintained property, including real property in Chambers County, Texas. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the document, he had a last will and testament dated July 25th, 2018, which it was his last will and testament. Is that correct?
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, he never modified or revoked that will.
Yes.
Okay.
He never
He
did.
never modified or revoked it. Okay. After the date of the will, was there a child born to or adopted by the decedent?
No.
And there was no marriage ever dissolved after the date of the will, correct?
Correct.
And there is not a necessity for the administration of this estate, is that correct? And the will does not name a state governmental agency of the state or charitable organization as a beneficiary, correct?
It does not. No.
And your husband did not apply for or receive Medicaid benefits on or after March 1st, 2005. Is that correct?
Yes. He did not.
Okay, he did not. Okay. And to the best
He did not apply for or
Okay.
receive.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge and belief, there are no unpaid debts owing by the estate of the decedent. Is that correct?
It is correct.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I hereby admit to what a probate as amendment of title. Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you. May we be excused?
You may be. Cause number 41, state Elizabeth Clare Ward Aaron's.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, sir. We have a couple of witnesses. This is a copy of a will, Judge. We have a couple of witnesses to the signature and to the contents of the will. I'd like
Okay,
to
and you're
call
gonna
them-
send in the original signatures? All we have is a copy.
Right. That's all we have to probate is the copy of the will. We never got the original.
No, I'm talking about a copy of the affidavit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we'll submit their affidavits.
Okay, the original. All right. You may proceed, sir. No, I
Thank you.
don't think they're wrong. Let's swear them in. If you'll both raise your right hand.
And Leslie, your video's off. If you
Yeah,
could bring that up.
I can't
Wait,
get it to
somebody's-
come up. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We just can't see you.
Yeah, I can't get video it came up originally and now I can't get it to come up. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm doing everything I possibly can. Can you do Carrie?
And let's skip down to the next one.
All right, Judge. Thank you.
Cause number 42, State of Beverly, Devillier, Kiker. Good morning, Mr. Quigley. Y'all are muted.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Have we sworn you in?
Nice.
All right, raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
All right, Jill, will you state your full name, please?
Jill Darlin Devillier White.
Very well. I understand your mother, Beverly Devillier Kiker, died on April 3rd in Winnie at the age of 80. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And at the time of her death, she was domiciled and had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County. Is that right?
That's correct.
We have presented to the court a document dated November 9th, 2021. And do you believe that to be her last will and testament?
Yes, sir, it was.
And is there a necessity for the administration of this estate? Yes.
Yes.
And I understand no children are born to or adopted by her after the date of the will. No marriage of hers was dissolved after the will was made. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And no state or governmental agency or charity is named in the will as a beneficiary. Is that right?
That's correct.
But you're named as independent executrix. As far as you know, are you qualified to do that job?
Yes, I am.
Very well. That's all we have, Your Honor.
All right, everybody admits the will to probate and authorize letters.
Thank you, Judge.
That's your mom.
Thank you, Judge Sylvia.
Good to see you.
You too.
Okay.
If you'll go ahead and
Yeah.
stand.
Video now.
You dropped in and out, Judge. Sorry.
Sign that we thought so. Do you know how many? Let me turn this off. I'm afraid I'm bothering them.
I do have my associate trying to call her now just to troubleshoot this.
Okay, we'll give her just a minute.
Sorry about that, Judge.
Fine, all right. It happens in today's world.
The new world.
Like,
if I may, Judge, because Miss Carrie is here. She's one of our witnesses. And I think she has to get back to work. So if I may call her real quick while we're waiting.
you may, is that her, C. Land?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Perry, if you'll unmute yourself.
And now Leslie's here. So we're all.
All right, if you'll,
there.
Miss Leslie, if you'll, or Leslie, if you'll.
Sorry,
unmute
guys.
yourself.
Sorry,
Let's go
Judge.
ahead. All right, if you'll raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. I called Miss
Thank you,
Carrie
Counselor.
Land first. Thank you, Judge. I may call Miss Carrie Land first. Miss Land, can you state your name for the court?
Carrie Ann Marie Land.
And how did you know the decedent, Miss Elizabeth Aarons?
She was my grandmother.
And you are not listed as a devisee under the will, is that right?
Correct.
And have you previously seen a copy of the will of Miss Aarons or the original?
Yes.
And you are aware that we are today probating a copy of the will and not the original, is that right?
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, the copy of the will that we have presented for probate today, is that a true and correct copy of the will of the original that you previously saw?
Yes.
And are you well acquainted with the signature of Miss Aarons, the decedent?
Yes.
And how are you acquainted with her signature?
I used to live with my grandma as a kid, so I would see her write and sign her name all the time. Even as an adult, being over with her, I would see it all the time.
Sure. And based on your knowledge of her signature, do you recognize her signature on the copy of the will that we're presenting today?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, the date that she signed this will, was she of sound mind and over 18 years old?
Yes.
No further questions for this witness, Judge. I'll pass.
All right, call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to call Miss Leslie Adolph. Miss Adolph, can you please state your name?
Leslie Marie Adolph.
And how did you know the decedent, Miss Aarons?
She was my grandmother.
And you're not listed as a D by Z under the will, is that right?
Correct. No.
And you have seen the original will of Miss Aarons prior to these proceedings, is that right?
Yes.
And do you believe that the copy we're presenting today is a true and correct copy of that original that you previously saw?
Yes.
And are you acquainted with the signature of Miss Aarons?
Yes.
And how are you acquainted with her signature?
I've seen her before, previously sign checks as well as sign credit card statements when we'd go shopping.
Okay. And based on your knowledge of her signature and your review of this copy that we're presenting today, do you believe that signature on the will to be the signature of Miss Aarons?
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, Miss Aarons passed away, or the date she signed the will, she was of sound mind and was over 18 years old. Is that right?
Yes.
Nothing further for this witness, Judge. I'll pass her.
No questions, Counselor.
And then I'd like to call, coming into the screen now, Miss Katherine Adolph.
All right, we need to swear you in, ma'am. You been sworn in?
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Go ahead, just swear her in.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
Yes. I do.
Okay, you may proceed, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge. Can you please state your name, ma'am?
Katherine Ann Adolph.
And what is your relationship to the decedent, Miss Elizabeth Aarons?
I'm her daughter.
And did she pass away, Miss Aarons passed away on December 11th, 2018 in Platte County, Missouri?
That's correct. Yes.
So 4 years have not elapsed since the date of her passing and the date you filed your application. Is that right?
Correct.
And other than her personal effects, did Miss Aarons have any other significant property with her up there in Platte County?
No.
And would it be fair to say that the bulk of her estate or the principal of her estate was real property located here in Chambers County, Texas?
Yes.
And so is it your testimony to the court that her principal estate was essentially the real property in Chambers County, Texas at the time of her death?
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, Miss Aarons died testate with a will, and that will was signed on October 28th of 2013. Is that right?
Yes.
And is that the will of which you have provided a copy of to this court?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, the copy was filed for probate up there in Missouri. Is that right?
Yes.
And it was actually admitted to probate up there, but no further action was taken on this will. Is that right?
Yes.
And so the original was provided to that court, right?
Yes.
And after we filed this application down here, you've tried to diligently retrieve that original from that court, but they would not release that to you. Is that right?
Yes.
And so you are asking this to, and the copy you have provided to this court has, along with it, the certification from that court showing that it was admitted to probate and was approved as her true and correct will. Is that right?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, this will that we're presenting to the court, it was never revoked by Miss Aarons after she executed it?
No.
And to your knowledge, the court up there declined to appoint you as the executrix at that time because the only property to be administered in her estate was this real property down here in Chambers County. Is that right?
Yes.
And it's your belief that they said that Chambers County would be the better court and proper jurisdiction to bring this matter.
Yes.
And to based on the will, the devisees of Miss Aarons are you, your sister, Miss Karen Ann Baker, and your brother, or I'm sorry, your brothers, John Aarons and Kenneth Aarons. Is that right?
Yes.
And was any marriage dissolved by Miss Aarons after she executed this will?
No.
Any children born to or adopted by her after this will?
No.
And you and your sister, Karen Baker, were named as independent co-executrixes in this will. Is that right?
Yes.
But your sister, Miss Baker, has since executed a waiver and renunciation of rights to serve and filed that with the court. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so do you believe a necessity exists for the administration of this estate to properly pass the title to that real property here in Chambers County?
Yes.
And are you therefore asking the court to admit this copy of this will to probate, appoint you as the independent executrix of the estate, and to waive any appraisers and bond or other security?
Yes.
And are you disqualified in any way from serving as the independent executrix of this estate?
No.
That's all I have, Your Honor. I pass the witness.
All right, hereby order the probating of the copy of the will and authorize letters of testimony.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman.
May be excused.
You may be. Have a good day. Thank you, lady.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Sorry. I am so sorry.
I'm just so thankful it's over.
I'm so sorry we ran over Carrie Ann's time.
Look at her. Just don't worry about it.
We were up originally. I don't know what happened to it.
I don't know.
Ma'am, you may want to turn up, leave the conversation.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. All new to this. Sorry. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye.